Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I started a few minutes before the time because I want to have everything set here so that we can start our presentation. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you to talk about this fascinating subject, which is the relationship between NLP and parapsychology. We are still 3 minutes ahead of the official time. I'm really sorry because it seems that I had the reference of time difference from 1 month or so before, and it seems that we have 1 hour extra because of summer in Europe, and it seems that people were expecting it to have started 1 hour before. So I'm really, really sorry about that. I should have checked it, but I didn't, and I thought that we should stick to the plan and start at 11 a.m. in Brazilian time. And we're going to start in a few minutes. I'm going to share the screen. In this meantime, some other people will be arriving here. We are seeing it in YouTube. If you are watching this, all you have to do is to go in my channel, which is, I'm going to type here, youtube.com/André Percia, because it's going to be transmitted live, and it also will be available here for everyone who are not able to attend now, but will have the time to follow the presentation in another time, because it's going to be recorded and it's going to be available here in my channel. So I'm going to share the screen because I have some PowerPoint to share with you. Okay. I'm so proud to be part of this team that is very committed with NLP and the studies and making it something very serious. And this is going to be a long presentation. I might be around 1 hour or so with you because this is a very complex subject. I would like to remind you that this presentation is related to an article that I have, which is in my blog on NLP I have a blog there. You can find the article there. It should be an article, but it became a monograph, a very long monograph. And I apologize in the beginning because it couldn't be shorter, because I had to introduce aspects of parapsychology and the case studies. Otherwise, people wouldn't understand the deep connections that I try to make between these two fascinating fields, which is parapsychology, scientific parapsychology, which, by the way, is the only one available, the one that is serious, because there are other approaches to this kind of thing as it happens in NLP. There are many people who try to do it in a very popular way, but it kind of lacks integrity and commitment with research and everything. And so in this presentation, I won't have the time to cover everything. So I do I'm going to ask you to take a look at my monograph, because I have all the case studies, all the little details about the things. I'm going to summarize this here for you, and I hope that I can let you understand the importance of this studies together. I started when I was 13 years old, a long time ago, studying parapsychology. I was very interested in the subject, and I met some people who led me to study parapsychology in the Rhine Research Center, which is in North Carolina, because it used to be in the Duke University, and now it's separated from Duke University, and it's an independent institute. and they are very scientific about parapsychology. They do experimental researches, and there are chairs of parapsychology in lots of places in Europe, like Edinburgh University. And in Germany, there are universities doing programs on parapsychology and developing several studies about that. And I studied that with 19 years old. And at 21, I was a member of the Parapsychological Association and the Society for Psychical Research, where I first published some of the case studies and the first considerations that I made between the case studies, psychological aspects, and the supposed spontaneous psi phenomena. And this is what I'm going to do here, because after I started to be interested in neuro-linguistic programming, I very soon started to connect those fields. It was very clear to me, but for my astonishment, I didn't find anything at the time relating both studies. And I made a publication before about this for the Parapsychological Association convention, for a convention that happened here in Brazil, in Curitiba. And now I'm developing it further. I developed this monograph, and I'm writing a book about it with lots of details. And so Neuro-Linguistic Programming and Purported Spontaneous Psi Phenomena, a new frontier in consciousness research. Well, it all starts with some research questions. In what manner are neuro-linguistic elements, particularly representational systems and submodalities, involved in shaping the subjective experience and articulation of spontaneous psi phenomena? I'm going to tell you what it is very soon. To what extent might the application of NLP methodologies such as anchoring and reframing augment the acuity and incidence of psi phenomena? And some hypotheses that were in my mind when I started to write this monograph. Individuals possessing neurolinguistic specific configurations may demonstrate a predisposition to both undergo and recount psi occurrences, suggesting a correlation between these configurations and the types of psi phenomena they report. The development of specific neurolinguistic programming techniques, which purposefully modify one's mental state, or the intricacies of their submodalities, is anticipated to correspond with an increased proficiency in perceiving and communicating the subtleties inherent in psi experiences. Well, problem and method. Parapsychological research can be broadly categorized in laboratory and research and the study of spontaneous psi phenomena. You can have experimental research, and you can study supposed phenomena that happens spontaneously. That's what I did in my monograph. Laboratory research focuses on controlled experiments that test for extrasensory perception, ESP, abilities, such as telepathy, clairvoyance, and precognition, as well as psychokinesis, PK, both micro and macro PK. The first one is the kind of mind over matter, which you can't observe it. You need the statistics to understand that it's happening. And the other one, very rare, are things that happen, such as an object that levitates or something like that, which is very rare and very controversial. This approach aims to provide empirical evidence and measurable results under specific conditions. In contrast, the study of spontaneous phenomena examines unplanned and natural occurrences as they happen in real life. According to Louisa E. Ryan, which is one of the researchers, she was married with J.B. Ryan, who developed the whole parapsychological studies in the university with statistics, meta-analysis, and other things. And she was more with the spontaneous phenomena. She received letters with people reporting phenomena, and thousands of letters, and she made a collection and studied that collection. She divided into several types: realistic experiences where dreams or thoughts match actual events exactly; unrealistic experiences where ESP information is distorted by the dreamer's psyche; intuitive experiences that involve strong feelings or anxieties without clear information; hallucinatory experiences where individuals perceive things not present through normal senses; and spontaneous psychokinesis, where significant life events are accompanied by physical effects, leading individuals to consider the possibility of abnormal happenings. I don't have the time here to go into all the details, but there is an extensive literature which can easily find those days. You can consult the Parapsychological Association, the Society for Psychical Research, and you will see that all those things that seem mystical, which are not, by the way, they are studied under a very rigorous and experimental processes. And this is what I'm talking about. But she tried to do the same thing with the spontaneous phenomena. They were not there to control the variables, but they tried to find patterns. She tried to find patterns among those letters. What was happening? That's why she came to those categories that we mentioned before. In the light of these diverse theoretical contributions, this monograph, my monograph, which is available for you to read, proposed that integrated factor systems, integrated factor systems, as a holistic framework that elucidates the complex interplay of social cultural context, personal narratives, and personality structures in shaping psi experiences. Psi experiences are such phenomena like telepathy, clairvoyance, precognition, mind over matter, etc. I studied in the 90s several people very closely who reported those phenomena. And I explored case studies on spontaneous psi phenomena, emphasizing their anecdotal nature and potential to contribute to parapsychological research. The work focused on the role of transference in therapy, where clients project unsolved issues onto their therapists, affecting perceptions and relationships. Both therapeutic approaches and NLP highlight the importance of feedback and self-awareness to facilitate client maturity and generative learning. Well, I will briefly summarize some of the case studies. You should read the monograph because there are lots of details. Christina's case study. Christina's psi experiences are deeply connected to her social, cultural context and psychological framework. Raised in a family where spontaneous mediumship was accepted and even expected, Christina's belief in her psychic abilities was strongly reinforced by the culture. This cultural acceptance provided a fertile ground for her to develop and interpret her psi experiences. Examples of psi occurrences. Precognitive dreams about her father's death. Christina had a vivid dream in which she foresaw her father's death. This dream occurred shortly before he passed away, providing her with emotional preparation for the loss. From an NLP perspective, this dream can be understood through the exploration of submodalities, examining the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic qualities of the dream imagery to understand how her mind processed and amplified the sensory details. I can't describe it in details here. If you go to the monograph, you'll see the report of the experience with all the details of submodalities. Spirit guides. After her father's death, Christina reported interactions with so-called spirit guides. These entities provided her, according to her belief, with a sense of security and protection, fulfilling her deep psychological need for external validation and support. This reliance on external sources for guidance is consistent with her cognitive orientation of seeking affirmation from outside herself. NLP techniques such as reframing could help for instance, Christina, to perceive these experiences in a more empowering way, integrating them into her personal narrative to enhance her psychological resilience. Christina's strong need for external validation, it's deeply described in the monograph, rooted in her relationship with her overprotective father, influenced her receptivity to this psi phenomena. Her experiences with spirits, guides, and other psi occurrences can be seen as an extension of this dependency on external sources for security. The NLP framework, particularly the thought model, provides a structure for understanding how these psi events serve as feedback, enabling her to feel secure and in control amid emotional turmoil. And there's another case study, which is João. João's psi experiences, especially his precognitive dreams, are closely linked to his introspective nature and cognitive behavioral patterns. With a personality marked by introversion and anxiety, João was more attuned to his internal states and premonitions. His psi phenomena typically emerged during periods of intense emotional focus on specific individuals or concerns. Examples of psi occurrences with João. Precognitive dream about a friend's accident. João dreamed about that his friend Sandro would have a car accident. This dream occurred just before the actual event, prompting João to reach out and offer support to his friend. This instance aligns with the NLP concept of anchoring, where intense emotional states can trigger psi experiences. By consciously cultivating these states, João might enhance his control over such occurrences. João had a dream predicting his cousin's severe illness. It's all described in the monograph. This dream led him to contact his cousin and provide emotional support, which was highly appreciated when the illness was diagnosed. Such dreams often emerged after periods of deep introspection and emotional investment, highlighting the structured cognitive process leading to the psi events. João's belief system played a crucial role in these psi experiences. Early exposure to his family's paranormal activities and subsequent personal psi encounters reinforced his belief in their significance. This belief system, aligned with the NLP principle that our beliefs shape our reality, created an environment conducive to the manifestation of psi phenomena. João's journey through therapy, aided by understanding these experiences through NLP techniques, highlights the potential for cognitive and emotional growth. Another case study, Frida's case study. Frida's early life was marked by severe trauma, including sexual abuse by her father and emotional abandonment by her mother. These experiences profoundly impacted her perception of love, intimacy, and self-worth. In therapy, Frida often reported vivid dreams and psi phenomena during intense periods of transference with me. I was the therapist at the time, reflecting her deep-seated needs for connection and understanding. Examples. Dream about the therapist's life. Frida dreamed of visiting her therapist in a foreign city, accurately describing details she couldn't have known, because I don't share things with clients where I am, especially in the 90s. We didn't have social media or anything like that. This dream occurred while the therapist was actually abroad, suggesting a deep psychic connection facilitated by the intense transference during therapy. Health precognition. Frida had dreams indicating her therapist's ill health during a period when the therapist experienced physical symptoms. These dreams were communicating to the therapist through postcards, aligning with the periods of stress and physical discomfort the therapist was undergoing. Remember, we were in the 90s. There were no social media, no WhatsApp, no nothing. When you were abroad or far away, we were isolated from other people. It was very difficult to know what was happening at the same time. NLP techniques such as reframing and exploring deep-level mental futures can provide valuable insights into Frida's psi experiences. By understanding her internal representation and patterns of personal experience, therapists can help Frida integrate these experiences meaningfully into her personal narrative, promoting healing and personal growth. Wanda's case study. Wanda sought therapy to address her recurring phobias and intense need for protection and guidance. Rooted in her overprotected childhood, her strong transference towards her therapist, and subsequent psi phenomena such as dreams incorporating elements of her therapist's life reflect her deep psychological needs for security and validation from external sources. Examples: dream about the therapist's work. During a period of intense transference, Wanda dreamed about her therapist struggling to complete a paper for a conference. This dream accurately reflected the therapist's real-life stress about an upcoming conference deadline, suggesting a strong psychic connection facilitated by transference. Precognitive dream about personal life. Wanda dreamed of her therapist experiencing personal distress, which coincided with a period when the therapist was dealing with significant personal issues. This dream exemplifies how her psi experiences were intertwined with her need for external validation and support. NLP techniques, particularly those focusing on state management and submodality interventions, could help Wanda explore and reframe her psi experiences. By examining the specific qualities of her dreams and their emotional context, she could gain greater control and understanding, allowing her to navigate her psychological challenges more effectively. Janaína's case study. Janaína's life was marked by early trauma, including the death of her father and abuse by her mentally ill mother. These experiences led to a lifelong search for love and security, reflected in her involvement in various religious and spiritual practices. In therapy, Janaína exhibited a strong transference and reported psi phenomena such as insightful and premonitory dreams, highlighting her intense emotional needs and reliance on external figures for stability. Examples of psi occurrences: precognitive dream about therapist's personal life. Janaína dreamed about her therapist's interaction in an European city, accurately describing elements the therapist experienced during a recent trip. This dream occurred during a period of intense transference, suggesting a deep psychic connection. Lottery prediction, that was really interesting, one of the most interesting things I witnessed. Janaína had a dream instructing her therapist, which was me, to play a specific lottery number. The number she dreamt of won in a draw that same morning, highlighting a significant psi occurrence during a period of strong transference. This was interesting because she asked me to use a number so that I could make money. Of course, I didn't do that, but I checked in the lottery, and the session was in the morning, and the results only happened after 11 or midday, something like that. And the same number she told me I should bet was the same number, 1320. It was the number that was prized in the lottery. The NLP framework, through techniques like anchoring and reframing, can help Janaína integrate her psi experiences into her personal narrative. Understanding her deep-seated beliefs and emotional states can provide a pathway for healing and personal growth, leveraging her psi phenomena as a resource for psychological resilience. Pedro's case study. Pedro's interest in psi phenomena Steamed for his early fascination with meditation and altered states of consciousness. His therapy focused on addressing feelings of inferiority and emotional immaturity linked to his bisexuality and troubled relationships. Pedro frequently reported psi experiences which seemed to be triggered by heightened emotional states and his desire for protection and validation from others. Examples: precognitive dreams about interpersonal dynamics. Pedro experienced several precognitive dreams about the outcomes of his relationships. These dreams often predicted the end of relationships or significant events in friends' lives, reflecting his deep emotional involvement and anxiety about these connections. Pedro's anxiety about interpersonal dynamics often functioned as an anchor, triggering psi experiences. For instance, during a particularly stressful period, he had a dream predicting a major argument with a friend, which occurred the following day. This highlights the role of emotional states as catalysts for psi abilities. Anchoring, a core NLP technique, played a critical role in Pedro's psi phenomena. His emotional states, along with specific environmental stimuli, were associated with his psychic faculties. By consciously replicating these emotional anchors, Pedro could potentially access and control his psi abilities more effectively. This highlights the interdependence between psychological and physiological states in the manifestation of psi experiences. In summary, these case studies illustrate the intricate connections between psi phenomena and NLP factors. By understanding and leveraging cognitive and emotional patterns, belief systems, and linguistic constructs, individuals can gain deeper insights and control over their psi experiences, promoting personal growth and psychological resilience. And now we're going to try to make the connections why I wrote this paper, because everything I mentioned now, I was kind of aware of this in the 90s, but after I studied NLP, I started to cross psychology and NLP and parapsychology, social cultural contexts and psi phenomena. Understanding psi phenomena involves recognizing the impact of social cultural contexts. Durkheim's work on collective consciousness highlights the shared beliefs and norms that shape communal life. Extending this influence to psi, Jung's exploration of the collective unconscious suggests that universal symbols may express in psi phenomena. These cultural narratives shape individuals' processing of psi experiences. In Brazil, the social psychological dimensions of alleged spontaneous psi phenomena have been highlighted. We have a culture here which supports lots of things that could happen. Several religious beliefs are open to something happen to people that will reveal things and solve things. And this is the cultural context. Christina's upbringing in a family with a history of spontaneous mediumship, accepted and expected within her cultural context, shaped her psi experiences. The acceptance and validation within her family and community likely fostered a belief in her abilities, strengthening her receptivity to psi information and experiences. João's case, João maintained a skeptical stance towards religious explanation, but was influenced by his family's paranormal experiences and a cultural context that embraced diverse beliefs. Cultural narratives surrounding psi phenomena provided a framework for João to interpret his experience, shaping his internal processing of psi phenomena. These cases illustrated how social cultural contexts act as lens through which individuals perceive and interpret psi phenomena, influencing their receptivity and understanding. The personal narrative in psi experiences. Personal narratives provide a stage for psi phenomena, with life events and relationships enriching personal mythology. The process of reframing in NLP allows for transforming perception of psi experiences, integrating them into personal narratives and empowering ways. Joan's shift from anxiety to proactive utilization of his precognitive dreams exemplifies reframing's potential. Personality structures, the landscape for psi. Personality structures serve as the foundation upon which psi experiences are interpreted and understood. In the NLP framework, patterns of personal experience provide the cognitive scaffolding that filters and shapes internal experiences, including psi. Christina's case. Christina's personality was marked by a need for external validation and protection, stemming from her relationship with her overprotected father. This influenced her psi experiences, making her receptive to information from external sources like spirit guides. Her tendency to somatize emotional issues, manifesting as physical symptoms, suggests her personality influenced her perception of psi and its physical manifestations. Joan's case, Joan's personality was characterized by introversion, focus on internal processing, anxiety, and self-doubt. These traits likely made him more attuned to his internal states and premonitions. His introspective nature facilitated access to unconscious knowledge and psi information, leading to his precognitive dreams. These examples show how personality structures act as a filter and catalyst for psi experiences, influencing receptivity, interpretation, and manifestation of psi phenomena. This aligns with NLP framework, which posits that internal representation and patterns shape our perception of the world and ourselves. NLP contribution to understanding psi. NLP provides insights into perceptual and cognitive transformation, critical for understanding psi phenomena, in my opinion. Techniques like submodalities, which modulate internal representations, can amplify the clarity and intensity of psi experiences. Case studies. Christina's precognitive dreams about her father's death could be explored through the lens of submodalities, amplifying the qualities of the dream imagery to access more detailed premonitions. Joan's precognitive dreams during periods of intense emotional focus suggest that NLP techniques like anchoring could cultivate mental states conducive to psi experiences, allowing greater control and intentionality. NLP's toolkit can deepen understanding of psi phenomena and empower individuals to manage their psychic abilities. The Psychotherapeutic Alliance and Psi. The Therapeutic Alliance plays a crucial role in psi phenomena. Researchers have documented psi occurrences in psychotherapy, particularly during intense transference periods. Psi manifestations in dreams may align with therapeutic goals. Frida's case. Frida's vivid dreams about the therapist during intense transference suggest that the therapeutic relationship can act as a catalyst for psi experiences, aligning with previous research on psi in therapy. Joan's case, Joan's precognitive dream about close individuals, including his friend Sandro, indicate that psi experiences may be interwoven with the therapeutic process, aligning with therapeutic goals of fostering healthy relationships. These examples highlight the potential of the therapeutic alliance to facilitate psi phenomena, creating a space where the psychological and parapsychological boundaries become more permeable. Deep-level mental filters and psi. Meta programs. The deep-level mental filters identified in NLP influence both perception and emergence of psi phenomena. Individual cognitive orientations such as matching versus mismatching patterns and internal versus external frames of reference may orchestrate psi experiences. In Christina's case, Christina's propensity for seeking affirmation from external entities, exemplified by her reliance on her father and subsequently on her spirit guides, indicates a predominant external reference metaprogram. This cognitive orientation prioritizes guidance from external sources, influencing her receptivity to psi experiences. In João's case, João's inclination towards introspection and reliance on internal cognition, especially during his precognitive episodes, suggests a metaprogram characterized by an internal frame of reference. This enhances his access to subconscious insights and premonitory visions. Both Christian and João exhibited a matching cognitive pattern, seeking correlations between internal experiences and external realities, significantly influencing their perception of psi phenomena. These observations suggest that metaprograms serve as cognitive lenses, modulating the individual's perception and engagement with psi phenomena, necessitating further empirical inquiry to substantiate these interconnections, of course. Belief systems as catalysis for psi experiences. Belief systems play a substantial role in the emergence of psi experience, as I believe. NLP posits that beliefs are powerful determinants for our capabilities. Individuals who believe in the significance of their psi experiences may create an environment conducive to their manifestation. Christina's case. Christina's upbringing in a family where mediumship was accepted likely fostered a strong belief in her psychic ability. This belief, coupled with cultural validation, created a fertile ground for her psi sensitivity. João's case, João's exposure to family paranormal experience and his encounters with psi phenomena solidified his belief in their reality. His conviction may have shaped his perception and increased his receptivity to psi information. Strong beliefs in one's psychic abilities can create an internal environment conducive to psi manifestation, aligning with the NLP principle that our beliefs shape our reality. Language patterns and psi. The interplay between language and psi phenomena suggests that linguistic patterns, especially those encompassed by the Milton model, may prime the cognitive framework for psi reception. The Milton model's metaphoric, suggestively ambiguous language facilitates engagement with the unconscious. João's case, João's precognitive dreams may have been influenced by emotionally charged, ambiguous statements resembling the Milton model, predisposing his unconscious toward revelations. And in Christina's case, Christina's description of spirit guides as protective entities demonstrate how linguistic framing influences the perception and significance of psi phenomena. If you read the monograph, I transcribed the reports, how they reported the case exactly as they explained it, and you see it seems sometimes that they were kind of using the Milton model, and it just happened, and then it just opened, and then just could feel, and you could see everything. They used patterns that resembled the Milton model, because NLP model what we do, and they do it spontaneously, and but we can see the similarities, and that somehow intuitively they kind of use something near to the Milton model to describe to themselves and think about the experiences, and it might have affected their experiences. The association between the metaphor and suggestion in language and the facilitation of psi phenomena highlights the transformative capacity of linguistic patterns in psi experiences. And that's very interesting. Anchors in psi. NLP's concept of anchoring, which associates external stimuli with internal states, may trigger psi experiences. Emotional states and environmental stimuli can act as anchors to psychic faculties. Cognitive behavioral patterns as precursors to psi. Pedro's anxiety about interpersonal dynamics might have functioned as an anchor to precognitive dreams, suggesting that replicating the emotional anchor could allow deliberate access to psi abilities. Understanding and utilizing anchoring might enhance the capacity to control psi experiences through further research, though further research is needed. Cognitive behavioral patterns as precursors to psi. Focused introspection and attentiveness may sow the seed of psi phenomena. Sequential cognitive behavioral patterns, such as those in the NLP STOT model, prefigure the manifestation of psi experiences. In João's case, João's contemplative attention towards specific individuals or concerns aligns with the thought model, facilitating the structured emergence of precognitive dreams. This model proposes that introspective states, particularly those with emotional resonance, precede psi phenomena, suggesting potential methodologies for deliberately fostering psi abilities. Please, this is my online help. Observing NLP presuppositions in the case studies. Several NLP presuppositions can be observed in the case studies of Cristina, Frida, and João. The map's not territory. Our internal representation of the world are interpretations, not reality itself. Example, Christina's belief in spirit guides is her interpretation of her psychic experiences, providing a framework for understanding them. People respond to their own internal representations. Behaviors and responses are based on internal maps, not objective realities. Example, João's initial anxiety about his precognitive dreams was a response to his internal representation of them as threatening. Reframing his perception changed his emotional responses and allowed positive utilization. People have all the resources they need. Individuals possess their inner resources necessary for change and growth. Example, Frida's journey of self-discovery and healing despite trauma highlights accessing and utilizing inner resources through therapy and exploration. There is no failure, only feedback. Challenges and setbacks are opportunities for learning and adjustment. Example, João's initial difficulty in managing psi experiences was feedback prompting him to seek support and develop coping strategies, leading to greater self-awareness and control. The meaning of communication is the response you get. The impact of communication on others matters more than intentions. Example, in therapy, clear, respectful, and empowering communication is crucial, especially when dealing with clients' psi experiences. And they all choose to mean the experiences in a way that kind of let them live better and solve their problems. And so the feedback they had from psi experiences allow them to go on with their lives meaningfully, and it made a big difference for them. People respond to their own internal representations. Psi experiences may be triggered by internal needs, desires, and beliefs. Example, Christina's need for security and protection, particularly after her father's loss, may have triggered her experiences with spirit guides. People have all the resources they need. Individuals possess the necessary resources for psi experiences. Example, Pedro's heightened emotional states allowed access to psi abilities. João's introspective nature facilitated precognitive dreams. Dude's score model. The score model, symptom, causes, outcomes, resources, and effects, provides a framework for understanding psi phenomena, I believe. Symptoms. Christina's precognitive dreams about her father's death or João's dream about his friend's illness are examples of psi symptoms. Here, the symptom is psi phenomena. because it's what's happening. It's the phenomena that is happening. Causes. Factors such as emotional states, introspection, and personality traits contribute to psi experiences. Example, Pedro's heightened emotional states and João's introspective nature. Outcomes. Outcomes of psi experiences vary widely. Example, Christina's dream helped her prepare emotionally for her father's death. João's dream prompted him to support his friend. Let's remember that outcomes, when we are dealing with challenges and problems, are related to positive intentions. And so we can say that most of the psi manifestations had positive intentions behind it: protection, awareness, reflections for changes in their lives. And so we can clearly see outcomes, and outcomes as positive intentions behind the process. Resources. Internal and external elements support psi experiences. Example, Christina's belief in spirit guides and João's cultural milieu validated and reinforced their psi experiences. Effects. Positive intent and purported psi events suggest underlying positive motivations. Example, Christina's experiences may have helped her cope with loss and find security. João's experiences strengthened his connections and motivated support. By applying the SCORE model, we gain a comprehensive understanding of psi phenomena, considering experiences, causes, outcomes, resources, and effects, contributing to a nuanced approach in therapeutic settings. Psi phenomena in therapeutic practice. In therapeutic contexts, psi phenomena are approached holistically, reflecting respect for the full spectrum of human experience. These experiences provide deep insights and opportunities for personal evolution. Christina's case. Christina's interaction with spirit guides may symbolize resilience and intuitive acumen. Therapeutic exploration can deepen her connection with her inner self, promoting personal development. João's case. João's precognitive dreams can be utilized in therapy for emotional preparation and developing coping strategies, integrating psi experiences into therapeutic processes meaningfully. Therapists must maintain a non-judgmental space, ensuring sensitive handling of purported psi phenomena, fostering self-exploration, personal growth, and resilience, in my opinion. Please, I was seeking help here to summarize. Research methodologies unveiling psi. Advancing our understanding of psi phenomena requires diverse methodological approaches. A mixed methods framework integrating qualitative narrative analysis with quantitative robustness is essential for exploring the system of integrated factors underpinning psi experiences. This is what I proposed in the 90s, the system of integrated factors. But in the 90s, I didn't have the NLP approach. I only had the psychological approach. Now, I think that with NLP, this psychological approach is even more comprehensive, because we can see lots of details, operative details like the thought and the positive intention and the scores and the anchoring and the meta program behind the phenomena, the meta programs. And I didn't have that in the 90s. And I think that the vision about what's happening is a lot richer now than it was in the 90s. The synthesis of the NLP with psi research suggests that neurolinguistic structures might significantly impact the experience and expression of psi. Theoretical expansion and synthesis. Insights from this monograph align with robust theoretical constructs in parapsychology and transpersonal psychology, providing interdisciplinary resonance. Stanford's model, 1990s, articulates conditions conducive to spontaneous psi events, suggesting that NLP techniques like state management and anchoring craft cognitive landscapes favorable to psi. Complementary theories. Sheldrake's formative causation, the morphogenetic field hypothesis, aligns with NLP's emphasis on internal representations and belief systems, suggesting individuals may influence these fields to unlock psi understanding. And transpersonal psychology, NLP techniques inducing meditation and deep trance states may enhance capacity for psi experiences, interpreted as spiritual or transcendental encounters in the local culture here. Considering alternatives explanation for psi phenomena. Of course, as when we deal with case studies, we have to mention that it could be coincidence or have some subconscious interference in the process. And other psychological factors could explain this. And about psychological factors, it doesn't matter if there is psi or not. If it's only psychological, with the understanding of NLP, the therapy with those clients could be a lot better. That's what I do when it happens. When I have clients who report purported spontaneous psi phenomena. It doesn't matter for me if it's a real telepathy or clairvoyance, it doesn't matter. But the understanding of the NLP patterns behind it help me and help them to understand the dynamics, and they can think about it, go to a meta state and think about it, and come up with changes in the processes. But there are some psychological factors, emotional states, wishful thinking, or a desire for connection, influence, perception, like Frida's dream about her therapist during intense transference. Culture and social influences, beliefs and expectations shaped by culture and society influence experiences like Christina's acceptance of mediumship. NLP integrating with psi research. NLP's principles and methodologies provide strategic approaches to facilitate and enhance psi experience, in my opinion. Techniques like submodality interventions and state management can heighten psi experiences, vividness, and detail. The thought model can discern and analyze mental patterns leading to psi experiences, enabling structured strategies for accessing psi information. Well, these are the things that I would like to share with you about the process, and it's a fascinating area for me. And I remember I had a case recently, just to finish. There was a airplane accident in Brazil in 2006. Probably most of you remember this. It was a big one. Lots of people died, and one client of mine died in this accident. And she was very happy. She was a coach. She was one of the first coaches in Brazil. She was very successful, very happy. She didn't do therapy. She was doing coaching with me because she wanted to be even better in her profession, and she was very happy. And suddenly she brought a dream. She opened her notebook and she said, I had a dream that I can't explain and find any psychological explanation for this dream. And she reported that she was seeing some woods and a forest and the earth. And she saw lots of soldiers carrying plastic bags with bodies inside that were crashed in an accident. And she was seeing that from a distance. And someone asked her, a voice asked her, you see the thing of representational systems and submodalities, saying, is that you? And she brought that, but she didn't have the feeling that it was a premonition. We tried to find some psychological correspondences, and she had nothing that could explain that, because, you know, some of you who are psychologists, you may know that if a person dreams about body parts and body in parts, it might be something very damaging psychologically. But she had nothing like that. It made no sense for me as a psychologist. Although I was doing coaching with her, I'm a psychologist, And I knew her for a long time. She was my client in therapy in the past, and she had nothing to explain why bodies in parts was featuring in her dreams. And 10 days later, the accident happened, and I forgot completely about this dream. I remember one day it came to me. It was a terrible shock. And I saw the images on TV. I saw exactly what she described in the dream. Uh, Soldiers carrying plastic bags, forest, and the woods and the earth and everything. And I somehow think that it's somehow prepared her for the future, because she talked about that and was okay after the intense session about the dream. Somehow it prepared her and me for what happened, because it was a shock for me too. It was on one of the most recent and intense precognitions, because she wasn't afraid of flying. She was flying all the time. She loved flying. She had no problems with flying. She didn't think any accident would happen. She didn't think that that dream was a precognitive dream, but it was. And she didn't know that. She thought it was just a regular dream. But it is very interesting. And I do believe, just to conclude this presentation here, that when we add the knowledge of hypnosis and especially NLP, we can understand a lot better. I know that for you who followed this presentation, and I couldn't describe in details the cases. Please, I invite you to visit my blog in the NLP Institute, André Percia, and find the monograph on parapsychology and psi, because I have all the cases described, and you're going to see, going to hear, you're going to experience the case studies, and it's going to make a lot more sense. But I have plans to go on with these studies to collect new evidence of psi occurrences and to find ways to measure this. Because in the monograph, I didn't talk about this here, I proposed several ways of researching and making researches to develop lots of different kinds of research techniques to go through spontaneous cases and correlation with NLP. I think it was interesting. I hope it was interesting enough for you. Again, I excuse for my limited English and the mispronunciations of words and everything, but this was as Patrick said here, it was deep, and lots of deep things to cover in 1 hour. Maybe I should, if I had the time, I think that 2 or 3 hours would be enough to describe most of the case. Maybe we can do that in the future, and you can understand better the depth. But I think that the message that NLP can help somehow the understanding of purported spontaneous psi phenomena. I think that the message is clear here, and I hope you enjoy the monograph, and I will be very happy to have your feedback later about the monograph. And I thank here We Evolve, Carl, Nanda, who thanked me for the presentation. And I do believe that psi is the future, and we have lots to learn with that, and I'm just getting warmed. So more later. So thank you very much for your attention and for this time together here. I'm sorry again for the delay in terms of the time, but anyone can return here and go through the presentation again whenever you want. It's going to be available here in my channel. And I'd like just to finish to say that I have a new book here in Brazil on NLP and education. It just came out this week. It's Awakening Minds. I'm planning to have a version in English in which I describe the correlations between how we can possibly apply NLP in the classroom, specifically in many different situations. And I go through lots of techniques and approaches that teachers could use to help their students to perform better and they to become better teachers. So thank you very much once more for everything, and have a good day and have a good weekend. And thank you very much for your support and everything.